I thought with the 20th anniversary of the GameCube, we'd go through some of the console's high points and some of its best games. But first, let's start with the initial inception of the GameCube. The GameCube was announced at the NGC Game Conference on August 25th of 2000. On November 14th, 2001, the GameCube was officially released in North America, alongside Luigi's Mansion. In its first 3 days, the Nintendo GameCube sold 100,000 units. The GameCube hit the ground running with Luigi's Mansion, which was the most technically impressive GameCube game, even with it being one of the first. This set the standard for many GameCube games moving forward, and that standard was met pretty consistently. Also in 2001, Nintendo released Super Smash Bros. Melee. This was the first sequel in the Super Smash Bros. Series. It was first shown off at E3 2001. Upon its release date on November 21st, 2001, it was quickly on track to become the best-selling GameCube game of all time. In total, the game sold 7 million copies. It looked great visually for the time, and it was a favorite among Smash Bros. Fans. Other notable titles for that year were Super Monkey Ball, Pinkman, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. In 2002, the GameCube's fiscal year opened with Animal Crossing. This was the first in a series of widely loved games. It appealed to everyone due to its endlessly playable nature and lovable characters. This game was the largest of the GameCube games. It required a memory card just for it. Resident Evil was the first M-rated game on the GameCube. This turned out to be a remaster of the PS1 game. This was the first ever remaster on a Nintendo platform. Burnout was substantial in the development of racing games on Nintendo platforms. At least in my eyes, because it felt like a racing game with modern-ish controls, graphics, and gameplay. This game released April 29th of 2002. This year saw a drought in the likes of Nintendo published games, until October 21st of 2002, when Mario Party 4 came out. So from February 2002 to October 20th, 2002, there was no Nintendo published games. So Nintendo may have finished out the year strong with Mario Party, but the wait in between Animal Crossing and Mario Party was just way too long. In terms of third-party games, there was the Sonic Mega Collection. This was mostly every single mainline Sonic game in one collection for the first time ever. Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine were all present on this collection. A decent collection, but they seem to phone it in for the last 3 games. Now I can finally play Sonic CD. And that wrapped up 2002 for the GameCube. 2003 was a big year for Zelda. February 17th saw the release of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Next, Metroid Prime released on February 28th. I really want to play this game eventually. When I finally get a GameCube, this will probably be the first game that I get. And then on March 24th, The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker released. The next day saw the release of The Sims. July 29th, 2003, the sequel to Mario Golf was released. According to the majority of fans, it is one of the best Mario Golf games. I agree. On August 26th, 2003, the final entry in the F-Zero franchise was released. This was called F-Zero GX. Since then, the series has not returned since debuting on the SNES. Here's hoping that someday it will return. The Tony Hawk games finally got its first spin-off on October 27th, 2003. This was titled Tony Hawk's Underground. October 31st, 2003. Nothing significant about that date? Nothing ringing a bell? Well, that's when SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom was released. One of the most popular licensed kids games of all time. Never played it. November 17th, 2003, saw the release of everybody's favorite Mario Kart game, Mario Kart Double Dash. People seemed to like it so much because it was so different from all the rest of them, because its main mechanic was that you could have 2 players in one kart at the same time. And also, this game was bonkers with its items and its really unfair gameplay, which made it all the more fun. On the same day, The Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time got packaged together into one game case, and this was called The Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. Pokemon Coliseum came out on March 22nd, 2004, and is the second most expensive Pokemon game. The most expensive Pokemon game, also on the GameCube, being Pokemon Box. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes came out on March 9th. For some reason, this is the most popular Metal Gear Solid game to get on the GameCube. The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures is one of the weirdest Legend of Zelda games of all time, and it released on June 7th. You had to have 4 players to play, and it was not split screen. The way that you saw what your character was doing was you had a GBA hooked up to your GameCube, and this required an adapter, and of course you had to go out and buy a GBA if you did not already have one. On June 23rd, the first ever Mega Man collection was released. The second and third collections are currently on Switch. Pikmin 2 released on August 30th, 2004. November 8th, the best Mario Tennis game, Mario Power Tennis, was released. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes came out on November 14th, and was definitely a step up from the original game. March 14th of 2005 saw the release of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. I only mention this game because it had the most ridiculous accessory of all time. Star Fox Assault and Battery came out February 14th of 2005. Now that makes me wonder if someone gave this to someone else on Valentine's Day. That would be a terrible gift. I hope not. Madden 06 came out August 8th of 2006. AKA really fucking late. These games usually release the year before, so I don't know what the fuck was going on there. The Sonic Gems collection came out August 18th. Thank God. Now I can finally play Sonic CD. Now, nothing of note came out after this point, except for Madden 08. Madden 08 was the last game on the GameCube. Looking back, we saw many great releases. We saw the births of franchises. We saw the revivals and continuations of others, and some of the sequels released on this platform are hailed as the best in the series. With these continuations of the franchise on this console, we got to see a major graphical boost and gameplay boost. Also, a lot of these games, people grew up with them, so they have a special place in a lot of people's hearts. A lot of these games are memorable due to their gameplay and the stories that are being told. So there may not have been a ton of releases in terms of Nintendo offerings, but it was definitely revolutionary each time that they released something. All in all, this console was an amazing success for Nintendo.